Did you think you were the only one? You really have no idea, dude. You lead the life you live. You think you can just go on a little Roman holiday and they wouldn't notice. Just jump all over the place, jump, 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 jump. And nothing's gonna happen. But they've noticed. Not me. I mean, I already knew, not me. It's not talking about me. Them. Down there.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Film Bros podcast. My name is Isaiah Lucas, and I am joined by my co-hosts,
Abraham
and Nick.
How are you guys doing tonight?
I'm all right.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
If you asked 14, 15-year-old me when this movie came out, it would have been teleported.
Teleportation, right?
I don't think
But-
so. I think it'd still be. I was a big fan of Flash when I was little.
It would be
super speed.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing.
It would be that, or... And so this is like a weird thing for me, because like this year was also the year BioShock came out.
Oh, you
and,
be wanting the...
And I wanted telepathy.
Oh.
And then also seeing that movie Chronicle.
Dude, Chronicle. I haven't seen that movie.
Chronicle
so
go
long.
crazy.
Seeing Chronicle and being like telepathy, you could actually like think about making yourself fly. So like you wouldn't even need the power to fly because you could think about it.
This is true.
You know, and all this stuff. And I was like, telepathy's the move. That would be crazy.
I honestly, though, I can't think of any better power other than teleportation or maybe invisibility.
Yeah.
Because you'd want... What does teleportation have... Or what does super speed have that teleportation doesn't? Is my question.
Yeah, it's
Well,
true.
now
anything,
my
it's
answer's
faster.
changed. I want this now.
Because even if, like... Okay, say flying...
Well, no, teleportation
still,
is
like-
so much faster than running and
Could
flying.
you just like teleport through the sky and like
Yeah.
fly in a non-technical way?
Well, yeah,
because they
Griffin
kind of
does
did
it.
that.
Yeah, he does it.
Yeah.
So I'm saying teleportation is like the almighty. I just can't think of anything better.
Yeah, it's true.
I kind of do want that now, for greediest reasons.
No,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
me too.
Oh, yeah.
dude. When I saw this movie for the first time and I saw how they take it in the beginning of the film,
Yeah.
I was like,
I want to
so
do that.
sick.
I
I
wanna
want to
do
do
that.
something like that. You know,
Yeah.
like if I was me, if that was me, I would be Robin Banks. I would you know have the apartment that he has, and I'd go surfing and you know all this stuff.
Yeah.
And just think about all the stuff I would want to do as a kid because I thought this movie was awesome.
Yeah,
me
too. I would always think like, oh man, if I had teleportation, I could sleep all the way until 7:59. Could get to school right at 8 o'clock. I'd not be late.
Yeah.
And now I think about that with work. And now
Yeah.
that I think about superpowers, stopping time.
Oh yeah, that'd be a cool one too.
I'd miss it
That's-
so much though.
That's pretty overpowered.
Yeah.
Although, it can only be you. And not, you know, jumping other people in cars and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, this movie is a piece of me. I loved
Yeah.
this movie ever since I was a kid. I've watched it tons of times.
Yeah, same here.
I don't know. I think it was just because I thought teleportation was so cool. And there's not very many movies that deal with the topic.
No.
And I think certain things about this movie still hold up. Other things do not, which I said last week.
You were hoping it did.
I was so hoping that this was going to surprise me. And, yeah, surprise me in the wrong ways.
Womp, womp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, man.
Yeah. I felt the same way. I grew up like watching this movie and showing so many of my friends this movie and like thinking it would just be the coolest thing to have this power. And like as a kid, this movie could do no wrong. Like I was like all in. If you asked me maybe at the time, I probably would have even said it was one of my favorites.
I don't
You
blame
know, like I could not stop loving that movie. And I hadn't watched it in like years. It feels like it's been years. So coming back to it, like I remember like certain lines from the movie, even like the cadence and how they're said,
Yep.
like the songs that are played. Like I don't know why that freaking We lay down the law. So what the you mean? When they're in the bar, I'm like, that's ingrained in my mind for some reason.
Yep.
Like, I could tell you anything and everything about this movie just because how many times I watched it.
Yes.
And then coming back to it, I'm like, how did I watch it this much, bro? There's nothing of substance here. It sucks.
So you're watching it, waiting for those action scenes, and when they come, you're just like, you know what I mean? Like it's just like,
Yeah.
And I thought the love story when I was a kid was awesome.
Oh, so
I was like, he's gonna get the girl. They're going to Rome. They're kissing.
Yeah.
What are they gonna do?
Yeah.
You know, I thought he was the coolest dude in the world.
Oh yeah, me too.
And now I realize she's the freaking wildest.
Yeah.
Like,
She's got problems.
She has got some. She needs some therapy.
Yeah, seriously.
I really can't believe her decision-making skills, man.
Yeah.
YOLO.
Yeah, you are Yoro. You only roam once.
Yeah.
Did you love this movie?
No.
Even when it came out?
I don't remember when I first watched it, but I remember playing the game so much. And that's why I think I liked this movie going into it.
Yeah, this was the era of gaming, too, when, like, every major blockbuster got a video game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I
I
kinda
remember
missed
playing
that.
on the Wii.
But there were always, like, lackluster ports. It was always just,
there
like...
was always, like, there were always a lot of lackluster games, but there was sometimes that diamond in the rough.
Dude,
Do you-
Harry
that
Potter,
would, like, that would shine
the game,
through.
the Harry Potter game on PlayStation 2?
I'm thinking, like, Spider-Man 2.
like, yeah.
That...
I'm thinking of... You remember the Iron Man game?
Oh, yeah, I bought that game. I was so pissed off.
It's garbage.
I thought it was going to be like free roam, like free roaming Iron Man, thinking I could like fly around in the suit. And I was like, I remember buying it. I think I had money from a birthday one year. And I went to GameStop. It was like $20. Bought it. And then I found out it was all mission based.
Mhm.
And it just follows the movie. And so, like, the only mission I loved doing was the beginning whenever you're the freaking tank Iron Man.
Yeah, you got
and
the
you're setting
flames.
people on fire. And I was
Yeah.
like, this is the only fun mission. And I lost $20. This sucks.
They're all like that. Every kind of movie based off of or game based off a movie just doesn't seem to work.
Yeah.
Has any of them worked?
What other games? I'm trying to think of any movie games.
Oh, man.
There's
Too
there's
many
the
to
Captain
count.
America one. There's the Wolverine one, which I think is not that great.
Yeah.
We've talked about the Jumper one, which
Tons.
I read sucks.
Yeah. There are a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, which
Yeah,
way?
like you play GoldenEye, dude. That's the best game ever.
No, I'm talking like when I think of that stuff, I'm thinking of the Spider-Man games, like the OG Spider-Man for the PlayStation 2, with like where it shows
couldn't
like
touch the ground.
yeah, and
Yeah.
you like swing in the air, just doing that. As a kid, that was
Sick.
revolutionary to
It's-
me. And then Spider-Man 2 came out, and it was like, oh, now it's all free roam. And the web swinging is realistic. You actually have to be near a building
Mhm.
to like actually web swing on it. Like that was crazy to me.
Did y'all play Mad Max?
Never.
No.
I've
That
heard
game
good
was
things.
fun.
I heard it was slept on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one I.
I'm looking at a website right now that's saying a bunch of games based off of movies, and this one's like Friday the 13th. It's a good game.
Oh, like the newest one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's shutting down soon, actually.
Toy Story 2.
Yeah, that's not surprising to me.
Yeah, I have no clue. I'm just saying, any which way you look at this movie, whether it be the adaptation side from the book or the movie side or the game side, it all just is so lackluster.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be.
It
shouldn't be because it's such a cool concept. It just, I'm never really a big fan of like reboots, but I do sincerely think that this would be a movie that would benefit heavily from a reboot.
Mm-hmm.
Like you put it in the right hands and get the right people on board to act this thing, it could be awesome. Like this is such a cool concept. It just needs to be done right.
It needs to be done right. It
And
needs to have a way better plot
Yeah.
other than, I love this girl.
Yeah.
That's it. That's like,
Yeah.
if you really think about it, that's the only real thing that it's hinging on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's
unfortunately.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that it wasn't as strong as I wanted it to be.
Yeah. Well, with all that being said, what movie are we talking about today, Nick?
We are talking about the 2008 movie Jumper. It was directed by Doug Liman and written by David S. Goyer, Jim Uhls, and Simon Kinberg.
Mm-hmm.
This movie is streaming on Tubi. which I don't know if I don't remember if I said that last week.
I think you did.
I think you did.
Yeah.
That's where I watched it. It was ad galore.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too.
Can't really complain because it's free, but
Yeah.
that's where it was.
Yeah, I think the one thing that that works in Tubi's benefit is I didn't need to have no account.
I know.
Nothing.
Continuous guest. I put.
Like, I straight up opened it up, typed in Jumper,
Yeah.
and I got to watch it right then and there. I
Me
didn't have
too.
to make no account, nothing.
It
But yeah, there was like 6 or 8 ads.
Yeah, it felt very non-committal.
Yeah,
It felt
I
like
loved.
it felt like you were watching it on TV,
kind of.
but it did
Yeah.
leave off right where it left off. Like it wasn't like, because I feel like when you watch it on TV, it skips up a little bit when it after commercials.
No.
I always thought that. There's things that I remember watching in a movie, and then I watch it on TV, and it's not there.
Oh,
of
it's probably because
commercial.
like you're watching rated R films that are being edited for TV, that like they
Probably.
can't show on TV.
Very possible.
Yeah,
I don't know.
like that's probably trying to watch like something like The Wolf of Wall Street on TV,
dude.
where the movie's
How-
the movie's gonna be an hour long,
Yeah.
rather than an
Cuts
hour 30,
everything
hour
out.
45. You know,
That's like rap songs on the radio.
Yeah.
Where it's all just like
like
you're like, okay, the whole soul of the song is gone. Why
Yeah.
even play it at this point?
yeah. All right. Well, we kind of talked a little bit about our backstory with Jumper. It's obviously been in our lives at some point or another, and yeah, I'm excited to dive in with it. I'm curious to see what you guys think and if our opinions have changed over the years as our film knowledge and our film taste has matured.
Yes.
So, why don't you give us a little bit of a synopsis of the film, a spoiler warning, and then we'll get into the categories.
Okay. Yes, this is a PG-13 movie starring Hayden Christensen and Samuel L. Jackson. He plays a man by the name of David, and David has a very unique power of teleportation. I don't think that's a spoiler, but he doesn't know it at first, and he slowly is uncovering this power that he's got, and he uses it not for the best of reasons. You know, he uses it like we were talking about to steal money,
Yeah.
to benefit himself and take from others, leaving IOUs in every bank that he travels to. And we basically get to see him grow up, living his kind of carefree life, and him not really worrying about the consequences or the greater world around him. What he's not realizing is that he's not the only one that can have this power, and that there are like a cult of people who are trying to eradicate these jumpers.
Mm-hmm.
And all the while that's going on, he's trying to save the ones that he cares about most. And it's just really about him finding who he is and how he can protect his loved ones.
All right. Yeah, I think that hits the nail on the head.
That's about it.
So, if you haven't seen the movie, go check it out. It is streaming for free on Tubi. If you don't want to deal with the ads, you can pay $4 or $3, however much it is, and rent it. You know, anywhere you can rent films on any streaming platforms, anything like that. Check it out if you haven't, so that way you know what we're talking about. If you don't care about spoilers, or if you do, pause the episode, come back to it. You know, do whatever you need to do. If you don't care about that stuff, continue listening. If you do and you just, you know, want to give it a pause, do it. If not, continue listening. So
Let's go.
there's your spoiler warning. As always, we're going to start with our first set of categories, which is our favorite scenes.
Yes. My favorite scene is not the intro. It is when it's kind of like the intro to his character, because he goes and he steals all the money from the bank.
Okay.
Okay.
Give context. So he has like a really crap home life. His dad is a horrible father from the little bits that we get.
Yeah.
And
Looks like he might be abusive.
Yeah.
A little bit of an alcoholic.
Mhm.
You know, always
Heavily
has
implied.
beer. Yeah. Like there's always beer bottles around him.
Yep.
Stuff like that.
Well, he gets the cojones to not even ask his crush out, but give her a gift. And, you know, the crush is like, oh, kind of playing on into it. And he gets real bullied. One of the bullies throws the little snow globe into the lake. He falls into the lake, and that's where he does his first jump into the library. So he's got these powers, and he's like, I've got this power. I'm going to go and make a name for myself. I'm getting out of here. So he takes the little bit of cash he's got saved up, and he leaves. I don't know where he goes.
I think he goes to New York.
Is it New York?
Yeah.
Okay, he goes to New York.
But that's only after he does it twice. He jumps twice.
He does, both to the library, right?
Yeah. And the second time is the only time where he asks, how did I get here?
No, it's one
The
of my
first time he doesn't have any question as to how he's in the library.
No.
He just gets up and walks out.
Yeah.
Literally, like, no questions asked.
Yes. My favorite quote says, he gets to the library and he goes, "Did I just teleport?" Like he says that like he's like talking directly to the audience. I laugh
So funny.
so hard. Anyways, he's practicing his skills. He's failing a whole bunch of times, teleporting into trees, knocking down, all that kind of stuff. Well, he's finally getting the hang of it, and he decides to make this master plan of going into a bank. And, he goes into this bank. He says, "You got a bathroom." I don't know why the bathroom is by the vault.
Yeah.
But he goes down.
Also, why does the security guard he gives him like a up down
Well, he kind of was dressed sketch, bruh.
It's true.
Well, I don't know, the way he looked him up and down was kind of like
like
he gave him like one of these
like side eye, like
like a little like
what's up?
What's up?
what you got in that?
Yeah, and then he was like, "You got a bathroom?" And he's all, "Follow me." And then of course, the bathroom happens to be by this maximum security vault.
It's my question every time I watch.
And he has
that
to
was
walk him down there. Why does he have to walk him to the bathroom? He couldn't just be like, "Oh yeah, down the hall to the left."
Why couldn't you just use the staff one?
That probably is the staff one.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Any bank I've ever been into has a customer bathroom.
No,
just right there.
I've never gone to a bank where it has a bathroom.
I'm thinking now. Is that standard?
At least where I bank, yeah.
I'm thinking of Bank of America. Bank of
Bank
America is like
has
the
nothing.
bare bone trash. They'd give you a bucket before they put you by the vault, bro. Anyways, he goes by the vault. It's so very conveniently walks past as they're closing it, because one of the powers or one of the rule sets for this power is that you need to have seen the location you want to jump to,
Which I kind of like.
Yeah, but I also it feels inconsistent, because then why do you have jump sites?
Well, because
if you've seen it physically with your eyes, then you can just think about it and you're there. Why do you have to have pictures all over your walls and be like, "Oh yeah, I jumped this place before. Let me look at this picture and I'll jump back to it."
That's true, huh?
I could just think about
maybe
it.
he wants that exact spot though.
Maybe, yeah. Oh no, because he says I have a bunch of jump spots in Tokyo.
Yeah. So I'm like, why would you need specific sites?
But it could be
why couldn't you just think about it and go
the
back?
least place where nobody will catch him or something?
I don't know. I don't. Yeah, it didn't really tell us if he. I don't think they need the picture, because he does teleporting without those things.
Yeah, but it's places that he's been to before.
Yeah, and that's the only way he can do it.
And he's probably seen it. That's what I'm saying. From the picture.
Right. That makes sense. Maybe they're just mementos on the wall, like these are the places I've been to. My memories kind of deal.
No, I feel like he just put pictures all over, and he's like, "Okay, I've never been there. I'm looking at it. I'm going there."
No, I
like postcards, bruh. Imagine how many postcards you can get from anywhere in the world. Put it up.
But that calls into question: do you have to be there physically
in order to jump there again?
No, I feel like just looking at it, you can teleport to. And then he didn't figure that out until after he got older, because he assumed that going to the bank, seeing the bank, he's gonna be able to go in there. And then finally those 8 years, he had to figure out, oh, if I seen it, I can go there. So then he had to think, I'm just gonna put these postcards up, and no one's ever gonna find me.
See, that's kind of weird, because I think there's a limitation. Like you have to have been there.
Is.
Because, well, maybe not. It's not very detailed, because he's looking at that card, and I think it's on top of that Empire State Building or something, and he goes
exactly there.
He goes,
I've
been there.
Yeah.
And he, accidentally teleports there. So does it have to be places you've been to?
I don't know. I'm thinking it's
Maybe
just something you think about.
Maybe at the start?
Yeah, I don't know. And that's the thing. The movie
We're
never
all so different, bro.
That's the thing. The movie never definitively says what it is or what the rules of the thing are.
Right. Well, I question myself. He goes to the bank. He goes to the bathroom, so he could see it. Otherwise, if he didn't see it, he couldn't teleport there.
Yeah.
Well, he went to the bathroom first and then the safe. Like when he goes to steal, he lands in the bathroom first and then he teleports into the
teleports
safe.
from the bathroom into the safe.
He does. But it's only because he has been there,
Yes.
right? Because how could you go to a place you don't know what it looks like?
Yeah.
You know
That's
what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you could teleport into the wall and then just die. Or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Too
I don't
long.
know.
This is too long. Anyways, it's
What
like
do you guys think? Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
I would love
seriously.
to know maybe the book has some like a better.
It probably goes way more into depth.
I hope it does.
Yeah.
Better rule sets.
I don't know. I think he's able to see it and go.
Okay. Anyways, he goes, he steals all the money, and I love it because he he kind of underestimates the amount of money that is in this bank. You see like gold bars and all that.
Yeah.
And he teleports, and then he teleports back to his room, and he's like, I'm gonna need a bigger bag.
Yeah.
And I love to see him like teleporting and money flying around, and it just seems extremely true to a 15-year-old
Yes.
that's got this power,
Yes.
that is living by himself with no means.
Mhm.
And even going on to where it's like you just see a bunch of like junk food, a bunch of sodas that he's got all piled around.
Yeah.
And then him
Even,
sliding
like,
the rent
He has
under.
like a police moped. Like
In the room.
In the room. Like he somehow stole a police vehicle and like has it in his room
Yes.
for some reason. How didn't he get in trouble for that?
Who knows?
Or like, those things aren't just laying around. Like someone had to have seen him jump that thing. Like jump
That's
it back to his room, right?
I don't know.
Yeah,
but like,
and then that-
but
but
like
then that
no one
brings a
ever
question.
cares. No one ever cares when they see him jump. He's straight up jumping in Central Park,
Yeah, just
the most popular park in New York City, and no one bats an eye.
people.
Everyone's
are blind.
just like, New York's crazy. New York's different. We got Nightcrawler over here. Like
New York's
Just
crazy.
another day in New York, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they do play it up as him being one of the only ones.
But if he does
Yeah.
teleport, real quick, because you hit on it, if he does teleport with that moped or whatever, then he would have already known that he can jump a whole house or a car.
Yeah, something bigger.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he just
Stole it.
Maybe he's
Still-
hustling. Maybe he's playing stupid when he knows I can do this.
I mean, he's got money.
Yeah.
Someone had to have been selling.
Yeah. I have to say, too, real quick, before we go on, I like, too, that in the beginning of his powers, whenever he jumps places, it causes, like, destruction.
Yeah.
I was questioning that.
I like that whenever because I'm thinking it's like something he doesn't have full control of yet, right? So, like, when he thinks about it, maybe it's a little too hard. And it comes and it freaking, when he goes in that bathroom, it breaks, sinks off the wall, crushes stalls, and the
Got like a-
tile is all racked, like, just thrashed.
Yeah.
Do you
But
think,
like as it gets more refined as an adult, and he's like doing it in his apartment, it's much cleaner,
Mm.
And I liked that they kind of added that there. I saw people saying that that's something that didn't work for them because it like causes all this destruction and stuff.
This is true.
And then like whenever he gets older, it's not there anymore. I was kind of under the impression like it's something that you master.
Oh,
over
like he's
time.
kind of like a novice.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Like,
or like when he's like, because even whenever he teleports his dad,
that's what I was
Yeah.
just about to bring up. I feel like
all trash, but he's not thinking about it in the
he's
moment.
stressed.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was to bring up. Do you think in stress situations it causes more damage?
Yeah, depending on maybe how you're thinking or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, I'd assume so, especially too because they use jumping as a form of combat.
Yeah.
I mean, you see Griffin like do a
Yeah.
kind of like it almost looks like a railgun motion thing, and it's
Yeah.
like I would love to know how this works.
Yeah,
Like,
me too, dude.
it's so interesting, and I crave more from it.
Yeah, but the movie just doesn't give it to us.
No,
Yeah.
it gives us these very basic. Oh, if you were 15, you'd do this,
Yeah,
which is why it kind of stuck with me all these years of seeing
Yeah.
him steal all the money.
yeah,
It's one of the first ones I wanted to bring
yeah.
up.
Same here. This also, I extend these couple of scenes to whenever he's grown much older and he's living in this penthouse in New York, and seeing that as a kid, I was like, oh, that would be so sick. I would live there. I would do all the things he's doing. Like as a kid, seeing him just do like all the mundane things, like being lazy.
Mm-hmm.
And being like, oh man, I want some food. Jumps to the fridge and starts snacking, and then like jumps to the couch, and then
got the
oh, the controller's too far away. Jump over there. Now I got the remote in hand.
no.
Like,
Tell me that remote is like not a.
Dude, this
Yeah.
is the remote, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
He's straight
like,
up all.
It's like a
dude,
game.
that is the remote.
I don't know what year this
Yeah.
is.
It's insanely wide.
Yes.
But-
Tell me though, it's actually kind of genius how he has his whole setup as well, because he's got the front door locked off,
Mm-hmm.
so nobody can get in. he's got his actual real cash behind a wall.
Yep.
Tell me that's not
And
genius.
it's organized?
It is.
In country?
In country,
Bro.
yeah, in currency.
He's like, where do I want to go
so
today?
you could be like, oh man, I want some francs today. Let's go to Germany. You know?
Some francs.
Yeah, it's their currency. Francs.
Just think
I
it's
was thinking
genius.
hot dogs, bro.
No.
Pulls out the sausages.
Some francs. Yeah, give me some of them hot dogs over there.
That's what I thought you were talking about.
No, dude. That's like when currency's gone and you're doing the barter system.
Yeah.
Like, I got 2 sausages. What are you going to give me?
I can give you a head of broccoli.
Yeah.
Deal.
But yeah,
that was good.
that I extend that whole to
Yeah,
that-
the
all
bank
that
scene,
and all that
It's
stuff.
probably my first favorite scene.
Yeah.
For sure.
My next favorite scene, you guys are going to hate me, but I think it's so funny. And it's after he basically, I think he gets discovered by the guy, which his name is Roland. And
Rolling. Dude, I was just thinking
How are we the same?
I was thinking the same freaking thing. That's crazy.
Roland is played by Samuel Jackson, and he is a paladin who is a person who kills jumpers, and that's all we know.
Yeah.
Or he goes after jumpers, and that's literally all we know at that part of the movie.
Yeah. Dude, wait. Okay, I gotta say something before because we get introduced to Roland and he kills that jumper in like
And,
in the Amazon.
Yeah.
Or something.
I don't know where
Bro,
the
why didn't that jumper jump anywhere else but there?
But he didn't. He couldn't.
Like-
he couldn't see. What if he's never seen any other place, and that's the only place he's seen?
I don't know. The only thing I said
That's
whenever
why-
he got caught and was jumping around was like, why didn't you go anywhere else but here?
Yeah.
Like,
That's one of the things I hate about this movie is that like the jumpers seem so weak.
yes.
They have the power to be anywhere
Yeah.
But they don't know,
at any time.
and that's what I'm saying. That's why I think the power is they have to have seen it to go there.
Have seen it. Maybe. But even then you could have been like he could have traveled.
Okay, wait. So let me ask you this, because we're gonna get deep here. All right, this guy lives in the middle of the rainforest,
He
right?
could have gone anywhere in the middle of the rainforest.
Yeah,
Could've
there's
got
no
anywhere
way he's been within like
Within the
5 mile
confines of
radius.
like 2 square feet.
No
Like,
way.
There's no way. And then also, he had to have made a big enough name for himself for them to go down there, try to find this guy, and kill him. So, like,
That's
what
true.
was he doing in the Amazon to
True.
get caught?
Taking out tribes?
Either that, or he was doing the same thing as David.
Nah,
robbing
did you look at
and,
him
like,
though?
doing
He was,
other stuff.
He did not look like he was.
So
looking
how
lavish.
did they get word that there's a jumper down here? We got to take him out. He had to have done something.
Something.
So he knows where some stuff is. He could have gone anywhere,
This is true.
but it didn't happen.
He's
It's
like-
all for the plot's
He's
convenience.
just going
Yeah,
within feet of himself.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
did they like web up the trees? or
Yeah,
something?
bro.
Yeah.
Dude, I want to think. Those things are sick. That they shoot out.
Yeah, the little
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that a lot. But they basically web him up.
Yeah,
There's a lot of questions I have about why are you here?
yeah,
It just seems impossible for them to be caught. Impossible.
yeah,
Especially for someone like Griffin who has been everywhere. I
Yeah.
mean, like once you see him, just go halfway across the world
yeah.
and then go halfway across that, like, you know what I mean? Like there's no they have all the power
Yeah,
and they still dive
yeah.
from humans, bruh.
Yeah, seriously. It's not even like paladins have any power or
And they
anything
have
like that.
electricity. That's
all they have is little shock sticks.
It just blows my mind
Yeah.
that we get there.
Yeah, seriously.
Anyways, your favorite scene is coming up.
My favorite scene is so David goes back to his hometown, which is Ann Arbor in Michigan,
Yep.
and he goes to this house where Millie is, his high school crush, and apparently he's been dead for 8+ years, 8+ whatever it says.
Yeah.
Goes to this girl's house and she's like, "Oh my gosh, like I thought you were dead," blah blah blah, and says, "Where's Millie?" And she's like, "She's actually here in town. She's at the bar by the school. Like her address is blah blah blah." Also, why would you give your
Well,
daughter's address?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's his mom.
The mom knows,
Yeah, but
right?
still.
Doesn't she say like,
She's like, I thought you were dead,
yeah,
and he's like, oh, nope, not dead.
No.
true.
So then he goes to the bar, looks at her 45 minutes plus, like just staring at her,
Yeah.
and gets up. And finally, some guy, I don't know his name, the bully in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah. And how does he notice him
That's what I don't understand.
as an
I seen a
adult?
ghost.
Yeah, like he immediately is like, "Yo,
Rice
David,
Bowl?
David Rice, is that you?" And it's like, bro, it's been almost 10 years. How do you recognize him?
Yeah.
I have no clue.
Like, yeah.
And he's like, I don't know who you're talking about. Wrong, David.
Yeah.
And then Millie shows up. She goes, and he goes, I'm not the David?
Yeah.
And he goes, Millie?
Oh, that's the rice bowl. That's the rice cake.
I knew it.
And then she goes, you were going to leave without me? And blah, blah, blah. And so they finally get, like, connect to each other after, like, 8+ years. And that's the part that I like. Is like, he's like, I'm back in town, but I think I'm going to go traveling. And she's like, oh, where to? And she's like, I think about checking out Rome.
You going to skip the whole fight?
Dude.
I didn't care about the fight.
No, I hate it.
Yeah, it's awful.
The reason why I hate it is because, listen, whenever they first get there, I know that he was a bully, but in my head canon, you know, as he was walking out onto the ice, I'm reading here on the I think his name is Mark.
Okay.
Yes.
He's telling him like, you know, he throws the thing out and he's like, "Oh, come on, Rice Bowl, don't do that. Get back here." Like he kind of cares about him.
Yeah.
And then once he goes in and is presumed dead, I imagine him having guilt that
Yeah.
he's the one who threw it, he's the one who drowned.
Yeah.
He's the one who basically kills him.
Yeah, but it's not. It's whenever he sees him, he's like, yo, what's
Well-
up?
well-
oh, let's fight.
That's what I'm saying. In my head canon, I thought, like, I'm thinking, okay, this guy has a bunch of guilt. So when he sees him, it almost has this kind of like, dude, you're alive. Like, you're almost like a celebrity kind of deal. Like, I knew you. I thought you were dead. You're alive.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of felt like he was looking at a celebrity. You know what I mean? And
Uh-huh.
then Millie comes up and he's like, why don't you go get me a beer?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, he's
Yeah.
acting like a douche.
Yeah. He goes, I am 110% cool. And spills his drink
Not
everywhere.
You
Yeah.
might as well have like slapped her butt as she like went to leave, and then he gets pissed and hits him. But it just felt so out of place.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hated it,
Yeah.
and it's only because there needed to be a plot so he can find out who Millie was.
Yeah.
But I hated it. I hated it.
Yeah. But
So-
yeah, they fight.
They fight, and finally, David and Millie are talking again. He's like, I'm thinking about going to Rome. And then she's like, how can you say that? Like, that's my favorite place. And I wrote it down because I was like, bro, homeboy has some riz. He goes, why don't you come with? And she goes, to Rome? And all he goes is, yeah. And she
Yeah, it's bro's the Rizzler.
He's got some.
and then it cuts, and they're,
And
on
they're
the-
just
and they're
flying to
landing in
Rome,
Rome,
dude.
bruh.
That's all it took. Was just being like, I was thinking about checking out Rome. Really? Yeah, come with. Okay.
Dude.
How? How?
That's why these guys say she's crazy. and
It's
needs to
leaving
get
me
checked.
speed. When I saw that, when I had seen the bare bone like plot that they laid out for them to get to Rome, I was like,
You're kidding me.
at least make it believable.
Yeah. No one in their right mind is going to be like, oh, yeah, there's going to be some pushback. Why are you going? I got work. Like, I got all this stuff I got to
Yeah,
do.
like, or maybe in a month.
Yeah, like, you know, we're just going to. And then the craziest part of it all, they fly out that day.
Is it the same day?
Yeah, it's the same day. She mentions, I can't believe it. 10 hours ago, we were in Ann Arbor, and now we're in Rome. So they fly out. They somehow miraculously get tickets to get on a plane that
First
day.
class, dude. Do you know how much money he
First
has?
class to fly to Rome that day. Like they
That
left
fool-
from there to the airport.
Also,
Flew.
also, can you even fly on a plane with a backpack full of money? Is that something they would
it's
be
gonna
like?
go through security?
Oh yeah, this is after 9/11, so for sure.
Yeah,
that's
it's
not
gonna go
happening.
through security, and they're gonna be like, "Huh? Look at all this cash in this guy's backpack. That's
oh,
strange."
Look
He
at that
probably
gold bar
teleported
there.
through,
Yeah.
bruh.
Yeah, that's another. Well, then, but then, how does he have like who is this guy? You know what I mean? Like, does he have a passport?
Yes,
Yeah.
he
Does
does.
he have an
He's-
identity or something?
He does
Yeah.
have a passport because in the movie when he's in Rome,
They take his
They take his
passport from him.
passport and say we're gonna hold on to this.
That's true. That's
So
true.
he has some sort of normal life.
That's true. It's just weird.
It's
You
know
so
what I mean?
weird.
Like, there's so many things that they just skip over
Yeah.
for no reason.
Yeah,
Like, he's got gold bars in his backpack.
Yeah.
Maybe
that's gotta
he,
be heavy.
maybe he teleported through. I don't know. Would have loved to have seen that.
Yeah, but yeah, like even something like that, like explaining how he's able to get through security, you know, or something, right? Like maybe putting in a position where you know he's like, "Oh, Millie, okay, you go first. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick," and then like you know while he's over there, you know, pink, travels over and it's like, okay, yeah, I'm ready, let's go.
But what if he has
You know?
like so much money that he can just pay for the flight and be like, all right, we're getting directly on the flight. We're on a limo. Boom.
It doesn't look that way.
I don't know.
Doesn't
You
look
put your
that way.
bag through the little scanner thing.
Yeah.
Be like, wow, look at all the cash. Like,
Nah.
I know it's. I don't think it's illegal, but it's
yeah,
suspicious.
After like 10,000, I think you have to report it.
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
I think if personal, I think after like 10 grand, you have to report it.
Yeah.
I
Or
don't
you
know,
have to
man.
claim it.
Maybe
or
he's
something like that.
keystering it, and then he didn't go through the scanner.
He's got a big prison pocket.
He
to do
just got
that, bro.
bad attack.
Freaking bands,
How?
rolls of freaking dollar bills in his butthole.
How
That's a
many
deep-
rolls?
That's a deep prison pocket, bro.
How many rolls could you fit?
Instead of I shove a whole bag of jelly beans up my, it's I shove a roll
I
of
shoved
money
4 rolls of $100 bills.
up my.
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
Seriously.
see, that's what I want to know about.
Yeah.
I hope that's in the book.
I think we should read it, bro.
I know, just for that.
All right. So from there, any other favorite scenes?
Mine goes deep in the movie,
Okay.
almost to like 30 minutes into the movie.
Okay. Mine's the Coliseum.
Yeah.
And this is like my last favorite scene here. But I loved this scene when I was growing up too, and I have to say I enjoyed it whenever I was watching it as well. The one thing that I found so unbelievable is the Coliseum's closed.
just randomly.
Like just randomly.
It did look like it was kind of getting dark though.
But then also, is it really that big of a deal that you see the Coliseum right then and there? You're not going to be in Rome for a couple of days?
oh no, for plot No, she's got
You know?
work the next day, bro. She's okay with
They stayed in
So-
freaking Rome for how long?
Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you're not going to be in Rome for a couple of days. You can't just be like, all right, yeah, we'll come back tomorrow
Yeah.
and see it then. You know, it's like, oh no, we're getting it right now. She flew all the way here to see it. We're going to break and enter into like one of the world's most like historical places. It's a well-traveled site. Like, we're going to break and enter in there. And even then, like, we're going to break and enter twice. Like, I'm going to break and enter on the first gate, get you in here. And then I'm going to break and enter on the second part.
That says
How is there
do
no
not
staff?
enter.
How was
Like-
there no security just walking
Like,
around?
there's no one in the Coliseum. It's just empty.
Yeah, the logistics don't really make sense.
Yeah.
I will say though, watching this part of the movie was like, bruh, Coliseum is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's something I want to see.
I
want
want to see it in real life,
bro.
bruh.
But I do like this scene, regardless of its flaws.
Yeah.
I enjoy Griffin being
Mhm.
there just randomly, but I also am kind of like, how does he know? Like, how does he know that they are there?
I think
Well,
he's just
and
following
Griffin-
them.
Yeah.
I
I mean, he's a tracker,
yes,
but,
but
like,
when he travels to Paris in the beginning of the movie,
mhm.
Griffin's there and sees him teleports. So then he had to follow, maybe like jump through,
They're
maybe,
scars,
maybe,
jump
or
scars
just
and
followed
see
him and
Yeah.
actually just was like,
Yeah.
okay. Because the part that I don't understand is how does he know he's at Rome
Mhm.
from Paris?
Just mark it up as he's a tracker,
Yeah,
and he's just following him.
yeah.
But he's there.
But yeah, he's there, and so Hayden Christensen's character has this whole thing where he's trying to get Millie onto like the ground floor of the Coliseum, and all these doors are locked. So they finally get to a part where it's like they can't open it. Millie is pushing back and saying like, I don't think we should be here, and he's like, oh, this sign says open. So I'm going to go around and open it from that side, and then we'll get you out here. So he goes around and, sees Griffin. Griffin is peeing on the Coliseum. And that's my favorite quote where he says, he's like, oh, yeah, big Coliseum, guy peeing, nothing to look at here. And he keeps walking, and he looks back again. He goes, this isn't a fashion show. I'm taking a piss. Do you mind? Like, and
you think to yourself, oh, another one's down here? Or
Yeah.
How did he get here?
yeah. And then, he's like, sorry, have a good day, and he keeps walking. And then Griffin teleports in
Mhm.
front of him and has this
thought you
whole
were the only one?
confrontation.
I wanted to,
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about when he teleports because it's almost like he swung on him because he breaks the arm of a statue when
Yeah.
he teleports.
He does.
Yeah.
So does he swing on him?
I don't know. Maybe it's to kind of like scare him a bit or something, or I don't know.
Because I was so confused about that part
Yeah.
specific because I was like, well, why would he try to hit him?
Yeah, I don't know. But he jumps in front of him and has this whole confrontation with him where he says, did you think you were the only one? you know, you can't be jumping around all the things that you do. People have, you know, noticed, and they're gonna come here and they're gonna try to hurt you.
Mhm.
I would try, you know, get away from that girl because you know she's gonna end up dead and all this stuff. And then he's like, "Who are you talking about?" And then all of a sudden, these paladins show up at
Two
the other,
Matrix-looking fools.
Yeah, they show up on the other end of the
Dude,
Coliseum.
that's one of the coolest scenes though. Is when they put the suitcase down
and it goes whoosh.
dude, I love
Yeah.
that.
I don't know what kind of tech they got.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. But they come out of nowhere and they start having this huge fight scene. And everyone is jumping around, jumping all these places on top of things, grabbing people, dropping them off stuff. You know, like you were saying, the railgun type thing, grabbing people and jumping them into like parts of the building where they can like clothesline somebody and all this stuff. Like it's a cool fight scene to begin with. And whenever I saw this as a kid, I was like, dude, this is sick. Like, I hope that the fight scenes continue in this way and that they continue to show, like, the power that these guys have. But really, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, that's really the only fight scene we get where we get to, like, really see these guys go in.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, all the other fight scenes are more like chases.
Yeah, it's not really like fisticuff, hand-to-hand choreographed fight scenes.
Yeah.
Which is why I think this one is special. And it's here in the Coliseum. Like, there's two guys, there's two jumpers. One's a novice, doesn't know his place in the world. He's like getting shocked.
Yeah.
All as he's trying to keep her safe.
Yeah. And
So-
Rachel Bilson's character, Millie, she for some reason like has no clue what's going on the other
Which
side. Like and homeboy is on the other side of that door going like,
even hits
screaming.
the door. Even hits the door. That's
Yeah,
right
and
there.
she's like, "Are you okay, David? Is everything okay over there?" And he's all, "Nah, nah," you know. And she's just like, "Oh, I wonder what's going on." Like,
I just don't know. Also, I didn't know that these guys died.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
they like
well,
killed them.
I didn't
Griffin
know that.
says he kills Paladin.
But for some reason, I saw that he knocked them out.
Yeah,
Yeah, because there is the reason why he gets arrested. I think is because of the dead body, and not
yeah.
even,
There's that woman, the one staff, the one person that's working the Coliseum.
well sees him leaving,
happens to see them leaving and sees one of the bodies, and she goes, "Yeah,
and it's not even because they're in there. Like literally, when they're interrogating him, they have the dead body's belongings there. Like, and they're like, "Where's the body? Where's the body?" Not even asking why are you in the Coliseum.
yeah,
Just about the
Oh.
dead body.
yeah."
Yeah, I totally missed that part. I just thought it was because they were in the Coliseum.
You know what part I always think of is whenever they're getting arrested, and that guy that's arresting him keeps going, "Calma, calma, calma."
Yeah.
I've, for some reason, ingrained in my brain. Cannot think of a reason why.
Anytime I think of somebody getting arrested in Rome, I think of Jersey Shore.
Snooki.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I think of that guy going, what is that guy who goes like, "He's touching my scrotum"? You know, he goes,
"Get your hand off my penis!"
he's like, "I'm just a man trying to enjoy a succulent Chinese meal." That's what I think of.
When someone
I
gets
love that
arrested
guy,
in Rome,
dude. It's so.
It's not in
funny.
Rome. It's like somewhere in England,
Yeah,
but that's
so
what I think
funny.
of. It's good.
Can a man not enjoy a succulent Chinese meal? A simple meal? Yeah, I love that. It's so funny.
I'm glad you know what I'm talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We'll have to pull it up after this.
Yeah, it's so funny.
It's good.
Yeah, but from there, that's kind of the end of my favorite scenes here. After that, this is all bro moments.
One of my favorite ones is just it stuck out to me as a kid. They finally he has tried so hard to get Griffin to be on his side. Griffin is like this solo. I'm not going to be with anyone. I'm better alone. And this whole time he's trying to say like, "Oh, it doesn't matter. I just want to be with you. Simple. We want to save Millie, kill Roland, and that's it. We're done." And he finally convinces him a little bit, but he's following him as he's like trying to convince him. And he's going to Tokyo, and they get on this car, or he drives this car, and it was the first time that they were teleporting the car, jumping the car. I was like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Like, and it made me really think about like the limitations and what this power entails. What could they do?
And then you get the little tidbit, like the one piece of conversation where Griffin once knew a guy that tried to jump a house.
But
it killed him.
building. It was a building.
Yeah,
Yeah.
building.
And he I think he said, but he still shook it though.
Yeah, but it killed him.
That's true.
So there is limitations on what you can and can't do, and it will result in death if it's too much.
This is true, but it's almost implying like a power level. Like there is a jumper out there that is
That can.
capable of like, what if they could jump the planet, bruh? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it would be so cool if they decided to really dive into it, but they don't.
You know
It's
what
so
this sounds
surface
like?
level.
It sounds like if SpongeBob and Patrick in the episode, let's just push the city over there.
move it somewhere else.
But like, it
With
could be
this-
sick. Like, imagine someone jumping the planet out of the solar system, and like,
yeah,
and
That's
like
like, almost a
everyone-
doomsday.
yeah, like everyone immediately like freezing, you know, and like creating a doomsday event.
That's
Like,
what it implies, right?
Yeah.
If one guy can jump a car, another one could jump a building,
and that's what
maybe another could jump a city. Like,
and that makes for a much more interesting villain than paladins.
yes,
Like,
that's what I said before we record. Imagine jumpers being a scary thing.
yeah, that could be
Yeah.
sick.
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying.
I know
like
we
when
had
you said
used
Robert
as like a-
Eggers saying,
Yeah, used as like a horror aspect. Yeah.
and the paladins are the good people, because the paladins hit in this movie sort of kind of like,
I don't know. and
Paladins
here-
are cops.
that's the thing though. But like,
what are the paladins?
they're kind of doing like
They're a religious group, apparently.
I don't want to say a justifiable thing, but it's like it kind of, I don't know. Maybe that's the theme of it. Like, who are you to deem what's right and wrong?
I guess.
Because it's almost like if you were to think about
family.
if you were to think about jumpers as like an allegory for a race,
Uh-huh.
and then they're coming and killing them because of their race, because they're not naturally God made, you know,
Mm-hmm.
They're different.
they're different. Then that would make the paladins an objectively evil people.
Yes.
Yeah.
But in the film, it's like jumpers are a danger. They can be a very easy danger.
Yeah,
To-
but
to the
David's
whole
different.
world.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's different.
Yeah. I could have dropped you with the sharks. I told you I'm different.
I just
Tell me that's not exactly how he delivers that line.
it is.
What?
and then freaking Samuel Jackson is like, "Dang it,
He got me.
He got me."
Like, dude. I hate it.
It's terrible. Like there's so much.
Yeah.
There's so much here. Anyways, yeah, they drive through and they're teleporting the car. One of my iconic scenes I remember.
Yeah, and that was my last favorite scene, was jumping in Tokyo.
Let me ask you this, because I noticed this. They have this whole continuity thing with like jump scars,
Yes.
and like Griffin ends up getting pissed because he follows him through his jump scar into like his lair,
Mm-hmm.
and then like he keeps doing it, following him around Tokyo and all this stuff. The one time a jump scare doesn't happen is whenever he jumps out of that car when he's at the airport. There is not a jump scare present.
Oh.
And like David looks around the car like, oh man, where'd he go? Like as if he couldn't follow him in the jump scare.
Yeah, because he does jump and he's like looking around trying to find him.
Yeah. And there's no jump scare present. Like, but throughout this whole chase thing, you've been able to jump in to his scars and follow him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, oh man, I lost him. Where is he? Like, the logic
I
is
didn't
not
notice
adding up
that,
here.
Yeah.
It's not as consistent.
Yeah,
as,
like where's the consistency here where you're able to follow him, but then you're surprised that you lost him?
yeah.
Like,
I didn't even think of that.
you know?
I
Like,
don't, I don't know why they did that.
yeah.
Interesting. I don't know. Interesting though. It got my mind thinking about all the kinds of things they could do, and then we can talk about the ending. If
The
you
ending's
want
more
to.
of bro moments for me, because it's just like we see someone that I didn't expect at the end of the movie. That's just a big bro moment.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
She says, "Where you been, Loca?"
So
Me and
from
Lisa told each other. I was like, Bella.
Yeah.
and then David's mom is just a bro moment too.
Yeah.
Well, we can hit on the end and bro moments if you want.
Yeah. I think we'll talk about it a little bit more too whenever we get to what didn't work, because
Yeah.
I just hate it.
It's not satisfying. The end isn't
No.
satisfying for me.
Not at all.
And it's so fast. It's
Yeah.
so quick.
It
It's
happens real quick. Yeah. Okay. Well, if that's it for the favorite scenes, let's get into any best quotes that we did have. I had one, which was the one I mentioned from Griffin already, so that's about it for me.
I have one from Griffin as well, and it's close to the end. He's like detonating a bomb or trying to like blow up his lair, and David says, "What are you doing?" and looks up, and Griffin I'm sorry. Griffin looks up and looks at David and says, nothing. Thinking about going bowling.
Yeah.
And it was just funny.
Sarcastic.
Yeah. There was a quote. It's when he's doing that opening narration. He's like, I got coffee in Paris and surfed the Maldives and all that stuff. But then at the very end, he's like,
I was
"Wha-
a chump like you.
He just called me a chump? Like what? Who is he talking to? Who is he talking? Tell me he's not talking to the audience. I'm like, call me a chump, bro?
That's why I'm saying he sounds like such a jerk.
I
In
just-
the beginning
He
of the
called us
movie.
the chump.
He sounds like such a jerk. Like, why would I want to root for this guy? He's like, I just had coffee in Paris and surfed the Maldives, and I caught the fourth quarter of the NBA Finals courtside. What did you do? Oh, and I did that all before lunch. I guess you could say I'm on top of the world.
Dude, me and Isaiah were talking about it, and Isaiah brought up, he goes, tell me how you watched the NBA finals.
Finals
lunch.
before lunch.
The finals
Oh,
are
they-
usually
they-
at
NBA
night.
games happen at nighttime.
Man,
How do you watch the fourth quarter of the NBA Finals before lunchtime?
no consistency.
Yeah. Doesn't
Yeah.
make sense.
Once he had said,
Well, think about it. He is in Egypt when he says that.
Yeah, there's a time difference, I guess.
There is a time difference.
oh yeah, huh?
Yeah.
All before lunch in Egypt.
That would be interesting too. Of like how you. Oh, never mind. This is like a whole.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, it's whenever he says, "I was a normal person once, a chump just like you." When he says that, I'm like,
He's
Is
saying
this
I got nothing
directed
going for my
degrading me?
life.
is this directed at me right now?
Yeah.
I don't know who this is for,
Yeah.
and I was like, I had to write that down.
Yeah.
Yeah, he called us a chump.
Yeah, and then the last one is Samuel L. Jackson's character saying, "Sooner or later, you all go bad," and he's kind of hinting at
Like
some kind
rotten
of
apples.
hinting at something more there. Maybe there
You either
was
die
one.
a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Yeah, I guess
hate
so.
that saying, bro.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyways, that's it.
That's it for quotes.
All right. Well, if that's it for the best quote, let's move into bro moments. So my first one, how did Roland get in his apartment?
I think you actually see it because when he jumps in, he notices like something's off, and he looks, and the desk that's blocking the front door is like moved out,
Okay.
like he had pushed his way in.
Mm.
I think.
Okay.
I remember thinking, oh, that's why he kind of looked back, and you see the desk like ajar. Or
I
something.
didn't
Oh,
think
okay.
about
I
that.
see. I also had in like little sub points. The whole fight scene there is a bro moment,
Yeah.
and I hate the whole like when he goes up there and he's like, "Who's been protecting you? What? How have you gone this whole time with us not being able to get you or anything like that?" And he's not saying anything, and then he goes, "I hate jumpers," and I was just like, "He really said that, dude? Are you serious? They really wrote him like getting frustrated and going, I hate jumpers," and like throws him off the second floor.
Yeah.
Like insane. And then my other last one was, why do the paladins have to take down jumpers? What's their motive? Like, what is their actual purpose other than just being like they're a religious group?
like they're
Like,
not
what is their
natural.
motive? Like, they just genuinely hate them for no reason other than like God should have that power.
They're jealous.
Like, that's it.
They're jealous.
Maybe
They want the power.
They're jealous because they didn't get to be a jumper.
So then, this should also beg the question: how are these people getting away with murder? Like, how are they getting away
well, they're
with murder?
some form of government. Like literally, they have a badge.
No, he lies. He says he's with the NSA, and then he lies to his dad and says, "I'm with the IRS."
He does. He lies. He does. Because I initially thought
What's
that
the
it was
NSA?
The National Security Agency.
Yeah.
So he lies about where
It's like
he
the
where
people
he
who are
is
in
or
your
what.
camera watching you.
Yeah, yeah. He lies about that stuff.
He does.
So how are these people getting away with murder?
Yeah, that's true. Well, it would make sense because the jumpers don't want to be known.
Okay.
So they are like, even if they died, it would like they're nobodies anyways.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because that's my thought. Like, if you're a jumper, how do you have an identity?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true.
It's hard to imagine you like, functioning in society while also trying to hide this, but do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I guess you just
Yeah.
have to have like some sort of self control.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Up to the person, I guess. I guess you have to be one of the good ones.
Because then you'd never get
You
caught.
just gotta be different.
You'd never get caught. But then he makes it seem like it's super easy for them to get caught.
Yeah.
Because
they have a machine.
Well, he's literally jumping all around, like no cares in the world, and then he finally finds him after however long from the bank. Like it was a coincidence that they even got a lead on that.
Yeah. Also, was a bromo in this scene too. Whenever like he's on the phone and he's like, he got away, but we got all of his jump sites, and then he like finds a picture of 15-year-old Millie and assumes, oh, he loves that girl. Like he just knows I gotta get to her.
Yeah, that could have been like his mom or
Like,
something.
exactly. Like it could have been anybody. But he's just like, I gotta get to her.
Yeah.
Like insane.
I don't know.
I have a lot of bro moments.
Okay.
The first one was when he falls into the lake. Dude, it looks like he's straight getting yanked. Like he falls and just goes, whoom.
Oh, when he falls down?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was just funny. The intro. Did you guys notice how when it goes jumper, it just goes jumper and then it disappears?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I noticed that. Like it's insanely fast for no reason.
I laughed. I laughed. I was like, what was that? It literally was like
It's just a jumper.
Yeah.
I was like,
the bags with the wand. I think that thing is so cool.
Yeah.
That I want one. Like I just want to beat the crap out of someone. That
Yeah. What about the mom just coming out of nowhere and
Yeah.
letting him out?
you have 20 seconds.
Yeah, like out of nowhere. He's thought she's just been gone.
Dead. Or,
Dead
yeah.
for 23 years now. Let's say he's 23. She comes out of nowhere and is like, you've got 30 seconds before they come. And he's just like, Mom!
He goes out with the chair still locked to him. I
Yeah.
don't know. Also, could he just teleport out of the
Of the handcuffs?
handcuffs?
Yeah. I don't know why he makes a big stink about not doing it.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Bro moment when his dad dies.
Oh, yeah.
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 That was crazy.
Seeing the old labels for sodas. Did you guys see the old labels for Sierra Mist and Pepsi?
I did not.
I was just
Yeah.
shocked by that. The Sierra Mist one threw me off.
Yeah.
RIP.
The product
Yeah.
placement there is crazy.
That was starry or something.
Starry sucks.
Um,
A flamethrower.
The flamethrower.
The flamethrower that goes through the through
goes
the jump
through
site.
the portal. Yeah.
Is
The
that
jump scar
realistic?
No.
Well, okay, hold on. If you think about the technology,
that they had to keep the jump scar open? then
Maybe.
yes.
then yes, it makes sense for because then it's less of like because in my head canon, I think jump scars are only seen
Accessible
by
to
other
jumpers.
by other jumpers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
but
only
then
even
Samuel
seen.
Jackson's character.
He like
Puts that
sprays, some
sprays,
stuff.
which is
Yeah.
why he's able to see it.
Yeah. And then they put the machine out that
And it-
keeps it open.
Yeah, so okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah.
But the flamethrower when he's just pulling it out and then seeing the house started on
You
fire.
see that one of the guys gets like on fire and falls out of the building?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see
Yeah,
Yeah.
one guy does.
I'm
And-
surprised they didn't put a Wilhelm scream.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it would have worked there.
Seriously.
What about Griffin scaring that kid at the airport?
Going,
Yeah. And
Stupid.
like jumping right in front of him. Like
There's no
Well, yeah, nobody's gonna believe that kid though.
yeah, just adding trauma to this kid. And being like, this strange man came up to me at an airport, got in my face, yelled boo, and I watched him disappear. And everyone's going to be like, oh, man, lock Billy up. He's crazy. like,
Lock him up.
It's true. This is true.
yeah.
I really laughed and I thought it was a really cool callback too. Was when they teleport out of the lair and they land in the library. Or no, not out of the lair, out of the house, and they pull the house and
Yeah.
they land.
They
back
pull
in
the house and they land in the lake, and then from
The
the
library.
lake go to the library.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought
So
that, was
that guy
pretty
has
cool.
caused like irreparable damage
That library's
to
out
that
of commi-
library. Like there's like tons of water damage. It happened twice. He like gave tons of water damage to that library 2 times, and then comes back when he's 23 to like
Does it again.
destroy all the books and all this stuff, and does it again.
Yeah. That is out of commission now, for sure.
And then my last promo is Kirsten Stewart in this movie.
Yeah, me too.
I was
Seeing
just like,
her
why?
like random cameo out of nowhere.
It was so
Bella.
bizarre.
Yeah.
Just seeing her and like she has this like moment where she kind of like eyes him down a little bit,
Mhm.
like where she's like, what are you doing here?
Well, it sucks too because you know where he's going, and then it just
I didn't know where he was going.
I immediately maybe it's because I knew I've already seen this, but I just hate how like obvious they make it because she goes, "Mom," and you immediately are like, "Oh, now he's reacting because that's his sister or his
Yeah.
stepsister or half sister or whatever."
Mm,
But I just hate how like obvious it feels.
yeah, I also do not like how his mom is a paladin. Because, explain to me how this makes sense, right? If the paladins are a religious group, then that would mean that Roland and the mom know each other.
Yep.
So she is like okay and complicit with Roland trying to kill her son.
Yeah, well, I think she's okay with it.
And then at the end mentions like, "Oh, I only left you because I loved you, and I didn't want to kill you when you were 5 years old. But I'd much rather be okay with killing you now that you're an adult."
It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. Like, you're leaving a 5-year-old with the dad had to have been deadbeat then too as well, right?
I would think so.
So she knows the environment she's leaving, or she's leaving him in, and then she's like giving him no direction, even if it's like the most vague. Open this gift when you're 18, or there's like a promise that's like a maybe she says him like a nursery rhyme or something. So whenever he gets of age, he's like, I'm piecing that together. It makes sense. Oh, she was really trying to like tell me to protect me the whole time.
Yeah.
But she just freaking leaves.
Yeah.
How is that love? It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
If you're willing to leave him because you love him, unlock him out of this arrest situation because you love him.
Yeah.
Give him a head start because you love him.
Let him know what he is because you love him.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. It really, like, she's like doing the bare bones and calling it love.
Yeah.
Maybe that's her version of love.
You ain't convincing me.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's also a bro moment that there's only 2 scenes that she's in.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to be like, oh, these were impactful. But they're so inconsequential.
The first one sucks. Like,
Yeah. But yeah, that's it for bro moments for me here.
Me too.
All right. If that's it for the bro moments, let's move into facts with the bros.
Yeah, let me hit you with the budget real quick. The budget to make this movie was $85 million. Opening weekend, it made $27.3 million. Gross for U.S. and Canada made $80.1 million. And gross worldwide made $225.1 million.
It cleaned up.
Yeah,
It cleaned up pretty well.
I don't blame it. I mean, I gave them my money.
Yeah, I bet you would have thought they were going to get a sequel, especially with the sequel bait at the end.
Yeah.
Saying, I guess you better get it going.
I feel like a lot of people are like us and be like, dude, there's so much you could have done with this movie.
Yeah.
And watched it for that.
They blew it all on the game. That's what they did.
No.
Yeah. Another one that I have here actually is in regards to the filming that took place at the Coliseum. So they were allowed to film inside the Coliseum for 3 days under 3 specific conditions. One, that there be no equipment be placed on the ground of the Coliseum. And they could only shoot from 6:30 a.m. to 8:30 and from 3:30 to 5:30 to avoid disturbing any tourists that would be coming through at the time.
Wow.
And that the only lighting that was allowed to be used was natural sunlight.
Really?
It looks good.
So they could only film there under those 3 conditions.
They were actually in Rome.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I would never have expected that.
Yeah.
In the movie, there's a quote where they're talking about like, oh, if we're gonna team up, it's gonna be like a Marvel meetup or a Marvel thing where Marvel team up that's like a short what do they call that?
He's
Like,
like 2 superheroes
limited.
come by for a limited run.
Yes.
Type thing. Yeah.
A limited run. Well, it's funny that they mentioned Marvel because Samuel L. Jackson goes on to play Nick Fury and Bell, what's his first name again?
Jamie Bell.
Jamie Bell goes on to play the Thing in the Fantastic Four. Both Marvel things.
Yeah.
Marvel.
They're in the Marvel Cinematic
There we go.
Universe.
They're in the universe. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
I found another crazy one, which I kind of blew my mind. This would be a completely different movie if this was the case here. So I want you to picture this. Eminem reportedly turned down an offer to star in this movie as the lead role.
Eminem.
Are you serious?
Marshall Mathers. Eminem. However, an MTV report quoted director Doug Liman saying his plan was to have Eminem in the movie was dropped right after he met Hayden Christensen. So his first choice for David Rice was Eminem. But then as soon as he met Hayden Christensen in person, that went out the window and he was like, this is the guy.
Wow. Soundtrack would have been different.
Yeah. Yeah. Seriously.
You only get one shot. No.
Yeah, seriously.
That would be in there for sure.
It'd be a sort of like jump montage type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When the dad's dying, it's I'm not afraid.
To take a stand.
Oh, that's
Everybody.
That's the credit song.
And then they're fighting, and you hear "Till I collapse." So bad the like.
I would love that, dude. In another universe.
When Millie's walking around, just gonna stand there and watch me burn. But that's alright because I love the way you love.
Oh man,
That's funny.
Imagine.
It'd be a totally different movie.
might have loved it more. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. Actually, talking about the way that this was filmed, maybe this is why they decided maybe they wanted to go with Eminem, because it takes place in Michigan, and he's from Detroit. The film takes place in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and the high school that's depicted is a high school in Michigan called Huron High School, where screenwriter David S. Goyer went. Area teens were actually cast as extras for scene in and around the school, so they had open casting calls for all the locals to come there and be extras in the movie.
That's cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't have any other facts.
Oh, I was just going to say, you might have more about this one, Isaiah, but apparently in the book, there's only one jumper.
Yes.
He is the only jumper?
Yes. Yeah, David, who goes by Davy in the book, is the only jumper. However, Griffin's character comes into the movie and he changes things. So
Yeah.
that's a big thing in the movie that's vastly different from the novel. And then after the success of this movie, the box office success, the author went and wrote a prequel for Griffin's backstory, which I guess is really good as well. So yeah, he changes like his whole original idea
Just
because
to fit
of his-
him in?
Yeah, to fit him in somehow, and then opens up the question in his kind of universe that there are multiple jumpers now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
a couple other differences actually in regards to the book. David apparently knew Millie from school. Well, he did know Millie from school in the movie. However, in the book, they meet after he ran away to New York.
Oh, okay. So there's
she's
no
in New York.
Yeah, so there's no connection.
no snow globe.
No, nothing
Okay.
like that in the book. They meet on a random occasion in New York.
Okay.
Another thing, in the book, David and Millie don't travel to Rome. The book spends a lot of time with Davy trying to figure out his mother, or trying to find out where she is, and also being tracked and investigated by the NSA, which was replaced with the Paladin story. So, like, yeah, in the book, it sounds way more interesting.
Yeah, it does sound interesting.
And
I don't know why they're so dead set on this, like, the history of the Paladins. They were the ones who are searching for the witches. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know why.
Yeah, it ends up not working, in my opinion.
Pretty interesting.
All right, any other facts here?
That's it for me.
All right. Well, if that's it, let's move into what didn't work. Personally, I think the CGI here has aged like milk.
Mm.
Like, there are certain, like, wide shots. I'm thinking of specifically the one where he's, like, sitting on the Sphinx eating. And it's,
Yeah.
like, this helicopter shot. You can tell it is CGI. Like, it looks like Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom, like, guys hanging on the hanging bridge. CGI. Like, early 1980s. Like, it's bad. And this movie came out in 2008.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched it. I'm like, man, some of the CGI is just not done good in the time.
Yeah, have to agree with that.
I did find myself kind of bored. The only time I liked this movie was like when major things were happening, but they weren't even major. So like the Coliseum, I found that really interesting. Like I liked it. I watched the whole time. The Tokyo scene, I watched it in the beginning. Like literally almost my favorite scenes were the parts where I was just most intrigued.
Kind of the only ones worth watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think just even as a bigger thing for me, like hitting on what you said, the script is just bad.
Yeah, the writing
Like-
is bad.
Like there's so much to be desired at the end of things with this film. Like I leave disappointed because I'm like, dude, that movie could have been so much better than it was. And like it really all it took is just some intentionality.
It
Like
does.
with the source material that you had. And also like thinking about actually how the story would be made rather than just trying to be like, well, we got to plug in some random romance that feels incredibly forced.
Mm-hmm.
We got to have like some fight scenes to keep people engaged at some parts. And we also got to make it seem like, you know, our protagonist is super cool, you know? Like they couldn't just tell a good story.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just like, again, I'm based on what the internet has to say about the book. Everyone says it's incredible. Everyone is like, this is one of my favorite books. It is awesome. It deals a lot with the, you know, these themes of finding out who you are and the secrets that your family hides from you and stuff like that. And, you know, what you do with a power like this at such a young age and all this stuff. And then the movie takes all those themes and is just like, boop, throws them out the window, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first time I had noticed the script and the writing wasn't that great was when he teleports to Mark, who is in prison, who had given him all the information. He's like, did you tell him who Billy was? And he's like, oh, no, yeah, of course I did. It just, it felt incredibly juvenile.
Yeah.
It did not feel like very tight writing because he goes, oh, man, why'd you gotta tell him?
Yeah.
Felt horrible.
Yeah. I
Script-
guess that also kind of hits on the acting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Acting
the only
is-
A-list actor here was the girl from Bridge to Terabithia and Samuel L. Jackson.
No, I even think Jamie Bell, like as Griffin.
I don't
like,
even know him. Like
I like him. Like honestly, at the end of things, I walked away from this movie being like, Griffin's the GOAT. Like I liked his character more than the protagonist, David. And like he's the only one that I'm like, that guy makes sense.
he's in Snowpiercer?
Guess so. I'm looking at it now. Don't remember.
I know he's in like he's in a TV show called like Turned,
He's in Billy.
where he's like a spy for like the British for the like a spy in the British Army during the Revolution or something like that.
Oh,
It's like AMC or something, I think.
yeah, I don't know. Oh, we're talking about what doesn't work. Okay, I was about to go to Samuel L. Jackson, which I kind of enjoyed. But yeah, again, I'm just saying the whole structure of the film I just think is lackluster. I don't like that they really hinged it around the love story and how everything kind of felt like it was a coincidence leading to action.
Yeah.
Like it was all coincidences leading to the actual plot of the film, which seems so incredibly lazy.
Yeah.
I wish they had structured it around either him being the only one or him like it's like almost like a mystery kind of deal of like who he is and who his mom was. And him trying to find his mom and slowly uncovering some more about him.
Mm-hmm.
Slowly trying to figure out like maybe his mom like I don't know. It goes down to the plot just being super thin.
Yeah.
Because I want to know why he's different. Because he seems to be different.
Yeah.
I mean, he can teleport the room and not die.
Yeah.
Maybe he is. Maybe he has like maybe there's a connection to his power. Maybe he's like got this ancient bloodline that's passed
something.
through him
Yeah.
or something. But there's nothing there.
Yeah,
He's
there's-
just like a random person.
Exactly. There's no explanation as to like how he got his powers, where they came from,
No.
what they are, where the like. There's nothing.
No, and I had wished that we seen like we had maybe had a way to sympathize with the Paladins a little bit more. Like maybe there was a situation long time ago where the Jumpers were like planning some mass genocide or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because that quote, he says, sooner or later you all go bad. Maybe he was once like a part of a Jumper, or he has a son who was a Jumper,
Yeah.
and like the son turns evil, and then that turns him to like want to stop it.
Yeah.
Like there could be so much more.
Yeah. But it just doesn't happen.
The way that they structure it is so frail.
Yeah.
So thin.
Yeah. Yeah, that also leads into the ending here for me just not being satisfying.
Mhm.
The ending.
Like, of course, there is some machine that gets brought up at the end of the movie where it's like, well, actually, we can travel through the scars now thanks to this machine. And also, miraculously, let me shoot this freaking claw thing through the portal, magically hit Millie, bring her back, and then be like, got her! And stack her to the wall. It's like they could see through the portal and be like,
they were just
get
shooting
her.
for the best, bro.
Yeah, like
Coincidence.
Yeah.
Chalk it up to coincidence.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
for
then,
real.
Yeah, and then the whole thing too with like him jumping the entire house and then getting Roland into like the Grand Canyon or something,
I thought that's what I thought it was.
and leaving him for dead and being like, I could have dropped you with the sharks. I told you I'm different, and then like leaves, and then Roland gives that freaking,
Oh,
you got me, you know, like, are you serious?
Yeah.
It's just not a good ending, and even leading up to like the whole like last mom scene, like her like them leaving and her being like, well, I guess I'm giving you another head start or something, and then Millie being like, I want to go someplace warm, and then they like just jump, and then
Credits.
it ends.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And I don't want to harp too long on this point that I'm going to bring up, but you would think, I mean, it's like, you would think like the most basic of plans is they have a machine, and at least Griffin knows about this machine that can hold portals open. So you should worry about where you're jumping to because you don't want them to come. It just seems to me like you get caught on purpose, you jump somewhere, wait for them to jump through, and then just like have a machine gun. Like you're like, oh,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, seriously.
Samuel L. Jackson jumped through that thing, no care in the world.
Yeah, ready to throw hands. You could have easily been like, oh, guess what? We're in Chechnya now, active war zone. Boop, see ya.
Or you could just like say you jump somewhere thinking that you're running, but you really just jump to like a salt field.
Yeah.
So when they come through, there's nowhere to hide, and you just are sitting there with the gun.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like how? Why do they treat jumpers as such weaklings?
Yeah, and stupid.
And stupid.
Like they have no like intuitive thought. Like that's, I don't know. That's why I'm saying this movie needs to be remade.
It grinds my gears.
Yeah.
It grinds them. The whole
Yeah.
time I was watching this, I was like, you guys are stupid. Stupid.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Seriously. Anything else for that doesn't work?
Mm-mm.
All right. The only other thing I have, narration. The narration in this movie only serves to fill the gaps, which is incredibly lazy.
Yeah.
And like, it's really like only in the beginning when it happens, and then at the end.
No need.
Like only in the beginning do you hear like, my mom left when I was 5, and then the rest of the film there is no narration taking place. It only happens so we get exposition, and that's it. Like it is just incredibly lazy, and it's like this is like the example that I look at where I'm like, that's where narration in a film doesn't work.
I agree.
Like
Just to call us chumps. That's
yeah,
it.
Like yeah, exactly. Like this is where it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And then like you look at a film like Goodfellas where narration is crucial to the movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So, all right. If that's it for what didn't work, what does work for this movie? We've tore it down. Let's try to put the pieces back together a little
I
bit.
think the concept of this movie, like the concept of a jumper,
Yes.
works 100%. We already say make a remake, but do it better.
It's incredible. The concept here is ripe with potential.
100%.
It just needs to be put into the right hands.
Like I imagine if a movie with this concept came out today, a lot of people would be
It'd
all
kill.
over it. It would kill.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It would.
So I think that, but I don't think there's going to be anything coming from it. I hate to say it, but this movie had a lot of potential, and that's something that
Yeah.
I do like about
It
it.
has a lot. I mean, they set up a lot. I enjoy the little bit of lore we get. Like, I really enjoy how the portals work.
Yeah.
Or, hard to
Kind
call
of-
them portals. The scars.
Yeah.
The
It
scars. Like,
reminds me of riffs from Fortnite.
it's similar. It really is. You see, like a...
The cracks?
Like a tear.
Yeah,
A
it's almost
crack.
like they're bending space time
Yeah.
to get to where they need to get to.
Mhm.
And seeing that, being able to travel through them, being able to like, jump items, jump people, and continue the momentum. It's incredibly unique.
Yeah.
I loved all the lore around the power there.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it just needs to be explained a bit more.
It does.
The beginning of this movie is great to me. Like the first half of the film, I'm like, this is awesome, and then the second half comes in, I'm like, all right, this is dragging.
What
a
part
bit
do you
for me.
consider the second half? Up to
Well,
what part?
Like up until the part whenever Homeboy decides like we should team up.
Okay.
Like when it gets to that point, then I'm like, all right, this is dragging.
Yeah, I
a
can
bit
see
for
that.
me. yeah, that's about it for what did work for me here.
I don't have a lot. I don't think. Yeah.
Other than like the nostalgia that this movie
Yeah.
holds for me, like that working, and me being able to put on the movie and just being like, man, I used to love this.
Mhm.
That works.
Yeah, I was gonna say Samuel L. Jackson's character, I think, does it for me.
Yeah. He's just being himself.
He's being himself. he's extremely intimidating.
Yeah.
I think his look is iconic with that, like,
The white hair.
yeah, the white hair.
Yeah.
There's something about him here that just gets me feeling like this is the role that, like, it was made for him, kind of deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
get you.
One of the better parts of this film was him.
All right. Anything else for what did work?
No,
All right. Well, who wins this movie?
I'm going Samuel L. Jackson.
Okay. I'm going Jamie Bell.
I'm with Samuel L. Jackson as well.
Ooh, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. What are some themes for this movie? I've got to tell you, I'm blanking here.
I don't know. I mean,
I said family.
Family.
I think it's just funny to say that.
would it be fair? It's weird to, like, isn't it like an allegory for race kind of deal?
Or selfishness. Like, what selfishness gets you.
Yeah, there's always consequences for your actions. But is it more like the jumpers are altruistic, or
Mhm.
they're like the good guys,
Yeah.
right? And the
At least in
paladins
this
are
light, the bad guys.
bad guys.
Yeah.
It's like the paladins are the racists. is that like what it's trying to say?
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know, because I think about it like in the context of, like, if you were to think about, this is going to be weird and off topic, but the universe of the Avatar,
Okay.
it's kind of like that, where it's the benders and the non-benders,
Mm.
it's the jumpers and the non-jumpers, but it's more of not even non-jumpers. It's more like secular, like the religious
Yeah.
non-jumpers.
Yeah.
But that might call into question: could a jumper be a part of a paladin,
I don't know.
and it'd be like a little snake spy?
Yeah, turn into Black Klansman.
But like, because
Being on the inside.
right, but like they're both, at least in that universe, they're both natural.
Yeah.
Especially in the Avatar universe, I mean, you're either born a bender and you're born not a bender, and it's kind of like, how do you balance the two? Because one of them has significant roles in society and significant powers, whereas the non-benders kind of can get crapped on.
Yeah.
Like, they can just get the air sucked out of their lungs. Whereas here, it's the same thing. I mean, jumpers have this incredible power.
Mm-hmm.
Should they be policed? Yeah, I would say yes. I
yeah.
mean, if you have a bad jumper, imagine the damage you could do.
Yeah.
Literally, you think about Jamie's plan of dropping a bomb somewhere.
Yeah.
Anybody could do that.
Yeah. Seriously.
So you kind of almost side with the paladins a little bit, but
Mhm.
it's kind of that dichotomy between how do you police this, but it's also a little bit natural because they're just born with it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I don't know,
It could have been a cool idea to bring up in
the-
the movie, but
just more education.
yeah.
That's why I'm saying, like, is this like an allegory for that?
Okay.
Being born
A
like
certain
this,
way, yeah.
but being policed, you know what
A
I mean?
different
Like,
way. Yeah.
I don't know. That I just got my head thinking. Maybe that's a little too deep. That this movie, I don't know. I just could have been interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know.
All right. Anything else for other themes? All right. What are we rating this movie?
You're looking at me first, so I'll go first. I gave this movie a 5.
I did too.
Same here.
Just right down the road,
Yeah.
completely
This
average.
is the definition of meh.
Yeah.
like it's just middle of the road,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Real quick, this is so off topic with the movie, but I just want to hit on this. Did you know that this book was banned in the United States for a while?
No.
It says controversy in 1992. The novel was banned from many school libraries due to the mature subject matter and the beginning pages because of deceptions of domestic violence and attempted R-word.
From the dad, maybe?
I'm assuming from the dad, but it was banned in 1992.
Well,
That just makes the mom so much worse.
yeah. Yeah,
my
for her,
gosh.
like...
Dang!
She's like, I'm leaving. For her leaving and being like, see ya. He was trying to do it to me, now he's doing it to you. Like
It's so much worse.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Seriously.
dude.
All right. Well, that's the end of the episode, you guys. So if you stuck all the way to the end, we appreciate you. If you did, leave a like on the YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel as well. Leave a comment. Let us know what you're thinking. Hit the bell notification as well, so that way you're notified when uploads go up. If you're listening on audio platforms, leave us a rate and review. Let us know what you're thinking of the show. And if you want to get in contact with us, click our episode descriptions and follow those methods of contact that we list in every episode description. Yeah. Other than that, we will reveal next week's pick, which is going to be Abe's pick. What are we talking about next week?
I'm actually pretty excited because I've been wanting to watch this movie for a while again, just for one specific scene. And so I'm choosing the 2003 movie Too Fast, Too Furious.
Nice.
And I'm so excited to watch it.
I feel like this and the first Fast and Furious are just the epitome of...
Fast.
No, they're the epitome of the Fast and Furious franchise, at least what I want them to be. But they're also the epitome of, like, the early 2000s.
Oh, 100%.
Like, hearing Ludacris and, like, the wardrobe that is shown in this, the cars... Like how popular like all black Escalades were for some reason. Like it's gonna be this movie should be a time capsule.
100%.
You know? Like you don't hear anybody going Luda anymore.
Nope.
Or doing the flow rider like woo, you know? Like that doesn't happen anymore. That's a
no, you still hear it with Pitbull.
Oh, is that Pitbull? I'm thinking Pitbull, not Flow
Pitbull goes
Rida.
Does that?
Oh, okay. I was thinking that's strictly a 2000s thing.
Oh. Okay, so tell me the director of this one, because I
This
got the
is
first one pulled up.
John Singleton, which is the same director as the first one.
Yeah.
John Singleton?
Yeah.
Who
I'm also...
IMDb got this wrong. The Fast and the Furious says it's directed by Rob Cohen.
What?
Interesting. Because if I'm not... I think I'm correct in assuming John Singleton also did Boys in the Hood.
Yeah, that's why Singleton sounds familiar to me.
Yeah. And Four Brothers.
Oh, goodness. That's a throwback.
Yeah, and then also now he's doing Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yeah, it says Rob Cohen. Let me go look at my notes.
Oh, yeah. John Singleton here. Director is the first one. Whoa. Oh, no. Yeah, the first one says... It's another one. Justin Lin. Oh, that's Tokyo Drift.
The Fast and the Furious. Yeah, I got Rob Cohen here.
Let me go look at my notes when we did the Fast and Furious real quick.
Interesting.
Rob Cohen. Same people, though. Vin Diesel, Dom
No,
Toretto.
Vin Diesel's not in it.
No, he's not in this one. They replace him with Tyrese.
Toretto, though?
Yeah, it's a
Toretto's
different-
not in this
It's
one.
like a different story.
Yeah,
What about Paul Walker?
He's in it, but Toretto's not.
Is this like one of the only stores where I figured Toretto's
like
are
the
a staple.
This
This
one
is
and
like
the third one.
This and Tokyo Drift are
Don't
the only
have
ones
him?
where he is not in it. Tokyo Drift is like an entirely new cast. Like it's a whole new like place. Total new
Toretto
people.
does show up at the end, though.
What? My mind is
Yeah.
Yeah, it is Rob Cohen.
Okay.
my mind is exploding. I just figured he was in all of them.
Nope.
Wow.
Not exactly. He got replaced with Ejectocito, cuz.
Dude, I can't wait for you to see
Yeah,
that.
it's gonna be my first time. I'm excited.
This is your first time?
Mhm.
I've watched this movie so many times. I love this movie.
Well, it's currently streaming on Peacock. So if
Yeah.
you have Peacock, stream it there. If not, you'll have to rent it. Or if you got it physically, pop it in physically. But next week we'll be talking about Too Fast, Too Furious. So as always, this has been the Film Bros Podcast. Thank you and good night.
All right.
Good night.